Welcome to Module 5, Overview of Assessment and Feedback.
In this lecture, you will learn how assessment and feedback are defined in the writing classroom, how writing is assessed in the classroom, and qualities of good writing assessments. When you hear the word assessment, you will probably think of a test, like an exam at the end of a course. A test is one example of an assessment. In writing courses, assessment also plays a key role in your students' learning in the classroom. For writing, assessment is the process that teachers use when they get samples of students' writing, evaluate writing quality, and use their evaluations to help students learn. Information from the assessment helps teachers plan for instruction. Assessment is also a way for instructors to provide feedback on students' work. Feedback encourages writers to correct their work and improve their writing practice. Note that the word assessment is used in two ways. When we say assessment, we are referring to the process. When we use the plural form, assessments, we are talking about the activities or instruments used to evaluate students. I mentioned feedback a little earlier. Feedback is information about a student's learning and performance. Feedback is used to encourage students to improve their writing practice and correct their work. Both students and instructors can give feedback in the writing classroom. Usually, this is in the form of comments or corrections on a text, or in a rubric, which we will discuss further later this module. Assessment in writing courses happens throughout the teaching and learning cycle, not only at the end of the course. Teachers use information from assessments to plan learning, to see how their teaching is going, to check student progress, and test their achievement. For students, assessments provide an opportunity to understand what they can do, receive feedback on their writing, and find strategies for improving. Overall, assessments give valuable information to learners and teachers to help meet course objectives. This model shows how assessment can support teaching and learning. To start, instructors use the course objectives and gather evidence about students' strengths and needs. Often, students complete a diagnostic writing activity. Diagnostic activities allow teachers to determine their students' level of writing skills at the beginning of the course. Teachers also plan for formative assessment and feedback to help students revise their writing before they submit an assignment for a grade. Students receive formative feedback on their drafts and in writing conferences during office hours with their teacher. They can also give one another feedback or peer feedback in a draft workshop in class. Formative assessment can also help teachers reflect on how to adapt their lessons. They help teachers get a sense of their students' progress during a lesson or unit. So formative assessments give useful information about how the teaching and learning is going. Finally, summative assessment is used at the end of a unit or at the end of the course to test learning. Teachers usually give a grade based on a rubric. They may also use summative assessment for a portfolio or a collection of texts written by a student. Good assessments should match or align with your course outcomes and class activities. Here are a few more important things to consider when thinking about assessment quality. Validity, or does the assessment align with what was taught in class and specified in course objectives? Reliability, which is the assessment given and marked consistently for all students? Authenticity, how much does the assessment match real-life tasks? Practicality, is the assessment practical enough for the teacher with available resources, such as time and money? And washback, is the feedback that the student gets from the assessment clear and helpful for learning? It is often challenging to balance these factors when designing an assessment. Writing teachers often note that reading and evaluating student essays takes a lot more time than scoring a multiple choice test. So, practicality can be an issue. On the other hand, a multiple choice test may not measure writing skills. In that case, validity and authenticity can be problematic. To sum up, here are a few takeaways for you to remember. Assessment and feedback provide helpful information to teachers and students. Teachers should plan for both formative and summative assessment. Teachers should align assessment to what they have taught, evaluate students' writing consistently, and provide useful feedback to students. Teachers and students need good writing assessments that are also practical.